good morning to you all. Welcome back to Social Science Class 7, and today is the continuation of chapter number 6 from Geography, that is Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. In part 1, we have already discussed about what is natural vegetation and the types of natural vegetation. Hope you have gone through the videos. Okay, before going to the chapter or the topics remaining, let's have a small recap of what we have studied in our previous class. So, we discussed about that natural vegetation is broadly categorized into 3 parts, isn't it? The first one is the forest, and the second one is the grasslands, and the third one is the shrubs. Okay. The forest one, or the first part, forest, is again subdivided into tropical evergreen forest and tropical deciduous forest, then temperate evergreen forest, temperate deciduous forest, Mediterranean forest and coniferous forest. We have studied all these things, that is the types of forest, in our first part of the video, along with the images as well as the examples, plus the wildlife too, isn't it? Hope you have gone through it seriously. Now in today's class we are going to concentrate on the remaining 2 categories, that is the grasslands as well as the shrubs. That is the third part. So as I told you, grassland, they are again subcategorized into tropical grasslands, temperate grasslands and thorny bushes, and the last one is the shrubs. So without wasting our time, let's move on to the remaining topics. So grasslands are known by different names. This is for your extra knowledge. They are known as prairies in USA. In Asia they are called as steppe. In South America they are called as pampas. In Africa they are called as veld. V-E-L-D, it is given in your textbook. And in Australia it is written savanna, but in Australia they are called as downs. D-O-W-N-S. Okay. Now let's come to the main topic, the grasslands and its features. Grasslands are classified as tropical grasslands and temperate grasslands. As I told you, they are subcategorized. Let's now move on to tropical grasslands. These occur on either side of the equator and extend till the tropics. So equator, if you see the globe, equator 0 degree, either side, upside or towards the north or even the south. So, and extends up to the tropics, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. This vegetation grows in the areas of moderate to low amount of rainfall. So, rainfall is moderate to low. बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं, बहुत कम भी नहीं. The grass can grow very tall, about 3 to 4 meters in height. So very high grass. What we can see in our normal grassland here in India, that is not we are talking about. It is of thick, or I can say tall grasses. The grass, savanna grasslands of Africa are of this type. So it is veld, also called as veld, as well as savanna. Elephants, zebras, giraffes, deer, then leopards are common in tropical grasslands. So the chapter says natural vegetation and wildlife. So wildlife is also covered along with this. So common animals like elephants, zebras, giraffes and leopards are found in this topic. You can see this is the tropical grasslands, is the savanna. You can see the grasses also, but the image, it is taken little bit, or I can say for a distance, so you can see only the small size grasses, but actually it is not. Then the temperate grasslands, you can see in the image as well. These are found in the mid-latitudinal zones and in the interior part of the continents. Interior part means inside the continents. Usually grass here is short and nutritious. Grass also nutritious. Have you ever heard that grass is having nutritious values? Why? If it is, yes, it is good for the animals. So herbivorous animal. So if they eat, especially the cow or the buffaloes, they give us good milk, isn't it? And very fat, or I can say we can prepare so many things out of that milk products. Usually grass here is short and nutritious. Wild buffaloes, then bisons, antelopes are सार नहीं है वो तो आर, एस तो इसका जुड़ गया, एंटीलोप्स का एस वहाँ गया. एंटीलोप्स आर द कॉमन इन द टेम्परेट रीजन. सो दिस इज द टेम्परेट ग्रासलैंड्स. Now the third part is the thorny bushes. You know very well what is bush. These are found in the dry desert like regions. Tropical deserts are located on the western margins of the continent. So all on the western margin, western side. The vegetation cover is scarce here because of scanty rain and scorching heat. Scanty means very less and scorching heat means the extremely hot temperature. In the polar region, we will find the place extremely cold. Yes, we know polar regions are extremely cold regions. The growth of natural vegetation is very limited here. That means very less. Only mosses, lichens and very small shrubs are found here. It grows during a very short summer. And this is called that tundra type of vegetation. So if you will witness, if you are able to see, if you are able to join the Zoom class that we are going to conduct, or in the if you are able to join, then you will be definitely able to enjoy all these things with the images. Okay, let's move on to the thorny bushes that you can see in the images. This is a कांटे जैसा लग रहा है अलग अलग, so good for nothing. This vegetation found in the polar areas of Europe, Asia and North America, where is the scorching heat as well as scanty rainfall. We will find only this type of vegetation. The animals have thick fur and thick skin to protect themselves from the cold climatic conditions in the polar regions. Seal, walruses, musk oxen, then Arctic owl, then polar bear and snow foxes are some of the animals found here. You can see some in only one in the image. This is all about the chapter natural vegetation and wildlife. So if you have any doubt, please ask me in the comment section, or you can call me also to clarify your doubts. So please go through the textbook because everything is given in detail in textbook. So keep watching and keep listening to your parents and keep learning. In the meantime, bye bye and stay tuned for the next class. Have a nice time.